Hello, beauty. Today we're going to explore nurturing as an essential pillar of feminine embodiment. And in this transmission, I'll be breaking down 3 foundations of feminine nurturing. Now, this isn't about basic self-care tips or occasional bubble baths, although I'm a big fan of baths. What I'm inviting you into today is a reimagining for how you relate to your own needs, your own energy, and vitality as a woman. Think about how you treat yourself when you're tired, overwhelmed, or depleted. Do you have a tendency to push through, shut down? Do you override your body's signals? Or do you listen and respond with the same tenderness you would with a beloved child or friend? For many of us, nurturing others comes naturally, but directing that same loving attention towards ourselves feels a little more challenging. Today, we're changing that pattern, my love. So let's begin by looking at nurturing through the lens of feminine embodiment. Like I said before, nurturing isn't just about occasional pampering or stress relief. It's also not something you earn after pushing yourself too hard. It's more of a foundational practice that creates the conditions for your feminine essence to flourish. True nurturing is about creating a relationship with yourself. This is one of the most important relationships that you will ever establish. This is where devotion as a feminine being begins, with you. Embody nurturing asks you to listen to the whispers of your body before they become screams. It's about recognizing your capacity to give is directly related to how well you receive. I'm going to say that one again. Your capacity to give is directly related to how well you receive. When I speak of nurturing from a feminine perspective, I'm talking about honoring the cyclical nature of your energy rather than pushing yourself to maintain constant output. That's another aspect of it. As a woman, you thrive in rhythm, not in constant doing. And here's what's fascinating. The more you try to push through your fatigue and override your needs, the less vital energy you actually have available. We've created lives where exhaustion is now seen as a badge of honor and leading to a collective state of depletion that we've all normalized. True vitality about forcing energy, or it's not about forcing energy through caffeine, sugar, or sheer willpower. It emerges naturally when you align with your body's wisdom and honor the signals for rest, nourishment, and pleasure. This sustainable vitality is what we'll be cultivating together in this transmission. And this is where the 3 foundations of feminine nurturing come in. And I've discovered that in these 3 essential foundations of nurturing, it's not an occasional practice. These are ways of being. So each is going to offer a different way to reclaiming your vital feminine energy. So the first foundation is the art of receiving. Like I just said, for many women, giving comes much more naturally than receiving. We've been conditioned to believe our value lies in what we provide for others, leading to a one-sided equation that eventually depletes our life force over time. Learning to receive, whether it's rest, support, pleasure, or simply your own loving attention, is not selfish. It's essential for the feminine to thrive. Let me offer you a practice that will help you with this. Right now, wherever you are, I invite you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And then a deep breath out. So deep breath in, deep breath out. And ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? Be patient and listen for the response that comes. The one that comes from your body, not your mind. Perhaps you need another deep breath to move your body or simply a moment to do nothing. Whatever comes up for you, give yourself permission to do just that. This practice of asking and receiving might be a little challenging at first. If you find that you don't hear an answer for what you need to nurture yourself in that moment, you can either ask again or secondly, simply just let yourself rest in the moment. This communication between you and your body will strengthen over time. And also see if you can bring this practice of receptivity to one area of your life this week. This could be you receiving compliments without deflecting, right? Receiving help without feeling the need to immediately do something for that person. Or maybe this is giving yourself a moment of rest without justifying it. Over time, through the practice of receiving, you can restore your energy reserves as a feminine being. So secondly, the second foundation of nurturing is attuning to your cyclical nature. Your body doesn't operate like a man's or like a machine, so it isn't meant to be in constant output. It moves in cycles, including daily rhythms as well as monthly cycles if you still bleed, also in seasonal shifts with the weather and life phases. So when you fight against these natural cycles by trying to maintain the same level of energy or productivity or execution throughout the day, you create unnecessary struggle and you deplete your vital energy over time. Nurturing your cyclical nature means honoring your need for more rest during certain phases, recognizing when your energy is naturally high, and then coordinating your more challenging tasks during that time of day, adjusting your expectations based on where you are in your cycle, and creating space for the natural ebb and flow of your energy. Try this practice to attune to your cyclical nature. For the next week, track your energy, your mood, and creative impulses each day, and notice the patterns that you find without judgment. Once again, without judgment. Where do you naturally feel more outgoing and productive? Where do you need more quiet time or need to recharge? This simple awareness creates the foundation for planning your life in alignment with your cycles, rather than opposition to them. You might discover that you need more gentle movement and rest during your menstrual phase, or that your creative energy peaks at certain times of the month. This knowledge, regardless, allows you to nurture yourself by working with these patterns rather than fighting against them. Now for the third foundation and my favorite, creating sacred rituals. Ritual is a powerful way to signal to your nervous system that it's safe to relax and restore. Before we dive into some of my favorite examples of ritual, I want to break down what actually makes a ritual. So, rituals have a few key characteristics. First and foremost, they are built from and done with intention. They have structure, and they typically follow a pattern or sequence, and there's usually symbolism where the action you are performing goes beyond the literal thing. A ritual will also mark or create a transformational quality to them, and last but not least, they are meant to be performed regularly or at specific times. And what I want you to know is that these rituals don't need to be super fancy or time-consuming. I believe that sacred is simple. And what matters is the presence and intention that you're bringing to that space. It's not what you're doing, but how you're doing it that matters. Here are some simple rituals that you can start playing with ASAP. A nice morning ritual before checking your phone, before you get out of bed. Scan your body and breathe life into each area until your whole body is alive. You can play with a midday pause where you place your hands on your heart and take 3 conscious breaths. This is a ritual I've started to weave in before I answer any text messages and helps me respond from an aligned and full place. And an evening practice of anointing your body with oil after bathing is a beautiful signal to yourself that you are cared for. And then once again, a weekly ritual bath with salts, candles, or anything else that feels yummy to you. The key is consistency and presence, not perfection or complexity. Try creating one small ritual this week that feels nourishing to you. Notice how this intentional act affects your energy and presence throughout the day. And remember, these rituals aren't about adding more to your to-do list. They're about creating moments of sacred connection with yourself that eventually become your natural way of being. Before you know it, your life will be one act of devotion and intention. One important thing to remember, nurturing looks different for every woman. What replenishes you might actually be depleting to your sister or friend. Some women are nurtured by solitude, while others are nurtured by connection. Some find restoration in gentle practices, while others need more vigorous movement to come home to themselves. The practices I've shared today are doorways, not prescriptions. Your body will tell you what truly nurtures you if you create the space to listen. Trust the wisdom of your body. The last thing I have for you, above anything else, including me, you are the expert on what nurtures you and your feminine essence. As we complete this transmission on the feminine, specifically this pillar of nurturing, I want you to recognize that in a world that values constant productivity and self-sacrifice, choosing to nurture yourself is actually a revolutionary act. Every time you honor your need to nurture, you're communicating that you love and value yourself. You're modeling a different way, right? Of being for other women as well. You're creating ripples that extend far beyond yourself, I promise. The journey to embody nurturing is not about adding more to your to-do list. It's about shifting your relationship to yourself and your needs. It's about acknowledging that your energy is sacred and worth protecting. Begin with just one practice, once again, that caught your eye today. Notice what shifts when you prioritize nurturing yourself and see the ripple effect that it has in all the other areas of your life. The pillar of nurturing is the foundation that supports and sustains everything else in your life. Your feminine body has been waiting for this permission to thrive, not just survive. Welcome yourself home to the nurturing that you have always deserved.